Flagship model Mate 10 Pro talked by Huawei Goh Ha. Mr. Goh, who came to the presentation, first introduces Huawei's global achievements. Huawei had already announced that it had shipped 730.1 million smartphones in July as the cumulative total in the first half of the year, but the total up to the third quarter amounted to 121 million units. With a 19% increase compared to the same period last year, the global market share of smartphones is third. This is supported by the fact that shipments are up 19%, while sales are up 30%. We also introduced that such an increase in the number of shipments in the global market has led to an increase in brand power. (48 in 2016 to 2017) and the year has expanded to 31. In addition, in the market of Android tablet except for iPad, we also introduced that market share including carrier selling model and MediaPad market became first. In Japan we compiled various comments on the internet as VOC, voice of customer, including everything including emails, etc. We respond properly to these demands, including products compatible with IP67 waterproofing not only for smartphones, but also for tablets. This is a form that meets the needs of Japanese users, Mr. Goh said, and the waterproof performance realized with the flagship model and tablet is stronger for Japanese users. I explained that I was conscious. Mr. Goh, who responded to the surrounding coverage, was asked about the reason why the high-end model Mate 10 Pro was chosen as the model to be introduced in Japan, not Mate 10, which was simultaneously announced globally, and Japanese users. Since we are emphasizing the needs of waterproofing and dustproofing, we will introduce Mate 10 Pro and we will continue to introduce water and dustproof models to the Japanese market preferentially. There. When asked about intention to introduce Mate 10 Lite, Mate 10 Lite likes it personally. It is fashionable, there is also a sense of quality, with narrow frame, full screen style, 4 cameras. Although it is equipped, it is reasonable price. I think that young people will notice well. I think that the store clerk is a very easy to sell product even at home. Electronics mass merchandisers, and performance and price are realized in high dimensions. It is talking about being there. He also shows that he is still in the growth phase next year. Mr. Ha said, in fact, We heard rumors that not only Japanese manufacturers but also overseas manufacturers are entering Japan's SIM-free market, which has a strategy for Japan's SIM-free market. We believe that if the competition becomes intense and the market is revitalized, it will eventually benefit users in Japan, he said, welcoming the competitive environment for the time being. Based on this, when asked about the goal of next year, I said that at the beginning of the year of 2017, the SIM-free market will be the first year to develop greatly, but I think that momentum will continue and contribute in the future. In the year, I think that Huawei's smartphone is not limited to SIM-free, and it is going to increase the number of all the way in all sales channels, he says, expanding the range of business and further expanding the number of shipments, it was revealed. Also, in the camera shooting function by photographer Hisataka Shinya attended as a guest, and it appeared to be able to shoot automatically with the optimum exposure as intended by the photographer. Selfie using the in-camera of Mate 10 Pro introduced a state that it is easy to shoot impressive pictures with solid blurring with natural light distribution.